Most SMEs aren't struggling because of effort. They're struggling because the business breaks the moment volume increases. If you've been grinding but not growing, this video will change everything. Hi, I'm Kenneth Phiri from Phiri Consulting. Today, we are diving into something that most entrepreneurs get wrong. You don't have an effort problem, you have a systems problem, but you are misdiagnosing it. Now, if you misdiagnose the issue, what that basically means is that the solution that you're going to apply is a wrong solution. Now, what this means is that you're doing something and you're doing it harder and you're doing the wrong thing. So you find yourself in a position where you add more effort, there is more stress, yet zero results. So in this video, I'm going to show you three things. The first one is why SMEs misdiagnose the issue. And then the second thing is what really breaks when volume increases. And then number three is the actual framework which I use in my Revenue Leak Systems Audit to fix that particular issue. Now, here is the pattern that I see every day in the strategy sessions that we have with our entrepreneurs that come through our coaching programs. Now, most of them, you will hear them say, Kenneth, I need to do something about my business. I know, for instance, we were talking specifically about growth. You will hear them say, I need to add more effort. I need to be more consistent. I need to work harder. But if I look closely at their businesses, I find that uh, even if they have all these things that they're thinking they must do, you find that leads are slipping through the cracks. You find that there is no automated reminders. They do not have an automated maybe nurturing system. They've got other things that they are not doing currently with the leads that they have, with the clients that they have. There is no proper follow-up systems. So basically, it's not really an effort problem that they're facing. It's a structural problem, and to do so, the systems need to be fixed. So let me give you some real SME examples that you'll probably recognize. Let's start with the first one, which is a consulting business. When there are 5 clients, everything runs smoothly. But increase the number of clients to about maybe 12. At 12 clients, you'll find that emails will pile up. And then there are problems with client deliverables. And also deadlines end up being shifted. So basically, what the SME is thinking is that I need to work faster to catch up with the work. But what they actually need, the solutions that they need probably to have an automated follow-up system that maybe nurtures clients. They need to have some SOPs, some client deliverable templates, for instance, on how exactly to do this, to do it consistently, to do it the same, and to do it identical all the time, so that you've got the same results for each and every client that you have. So you are not basically going to get a better result by adding additional effort. What you basically need is a system that is able to handle that increase in business, yet producing the same kind of quality results that clients expect to get from you. The second example is an online retailer. At 10 orders per week, everything is okay. But let's say you increase the number of orders to about 50 a week, then you start seeing some problems there. You find then the business is now experiencing some stock up. There is duplication of orders, for instance, or there are wrong deliveries that are made to clients. So, or in other cases, there are even missed deliveries. So then if you've got this, then the SME or the business is thinking, you know what, I need perhaps maybe to hire additional people because I have a lot of work that is now coming in. But this is seldom the solution. What the SME need in that particular instance will be, for example, to revamp their inventory system, maybe to have an inventory alert so that you avoid those stock outs. They need to have maybe a batch ordering, to order in batch so that they can be able to have the inventory that is needed when it is needed, and maybe to have an automated audit, to have a standardized packing workflow to make sure that all the orders are tagged as they come in and the right kind of deliveries are made to the correct customers. In doing so, they have solved all that, and they can easily replicate this. They can automate this in their system, and they have the system that produces the same results and avoiding those mishaps that they had. The third example is a coaching and training business. At 3 new clients per week, everything is okay. But increase that, make it maybe around 5 or even more. Now you start seeing some gaps there. You start seeing some serious problems. For instance, they might have a missed follow-up, lost leads. They can even have poor retention, which means they cannot retain all the clients that they have. Now, if you cannot retain the clients that come in, then you are not going to grow your business. The SME is probably thinking, I know what, I need to improve my marketing. But the solution might be a very simple solution, maybe to have a proper CRM that maybe tags each and every step where the client is, so that you have maybe a good follow-up system, so that you've got a automated lead nurturing system, so that you've got all these other things that you can easily replicate. That will reduce the amount of workload from the particular entrepreneur, so that the business still continues to perform and produces the results that are expected by the clients, and in doing so, that business grows. Okay, so what exactly is the reason, or what are the reasons why SMEs fail? There are basically three reasons, or three explanations that I can think of from the top of my head, but they are not really limited to only this. Now, the first reason is uh, a system's failures always feel like personal failures. Now, you find SMEs thinking, or entrepreneurs thinking, that the business is failing because of their. They take the reason to be a personal reason. Maybe they are not skilled enough. Maybe they've got this or that problem. So because of that, then they fail to actually focus on the problem, which is the system's problem. It is not a personal issue. It's not an issue of them failing to do a particular thing, but the reason is because they do not have a good system that backs their effort. If the system is not there, it doesn't matter how much effort they put into that particular business. It will get to a point where it is bound to fail. The second reason is that a hustle culture has caused people to work harder. Now, because of the hustle culture, what we have always been told is that if you work hard enough, you will eventually win. So winning is attached to hard work. And trust me, there is a lot of truth in that. But there is an even more greater truth than that. The truth is that when you've got systems in place, you win consistently. So much so that a system becomes the backbone or the foundation upon which you can always win. Not only once, but win consistently, produce the same results all the time, and scale your business. The third one is founders confuse movement to progress. Now, you can be busy in your business, you can be busy doing this or busy doing that. But the truth of the matter is that movement is not motion. You can be busy doing things that will not propel your business forward. So you need to have systems that will actually turn that movement into momentum as far as your business growth is concerned. So here is how to know if you've got a systems problem or an effort problem. Now, ask yourself this particular question. If if your business was to grow or double overnight, by tomorrow you got double the number of leads, double the number of business, is there anything that will break in your business? If the answer is yes, then it's not an effort problem, it is a systems problem. Now, your system will not handle or is going to be unable to handle whatever increase you have as far as volume is concerned. So if you find yourself in your position where your growth will overwhelm things such as your operations, your communication, your sales process, your onboarding, your payments, and stuff like that, that means that the fundamental issue there is systems. Systems have to be fixed for you to be in that position where you can start saying, now I'm scaling in my business. So here is the solution. For you to solve this particular problem, then there are particular steps that you need to take. And these steps are what we actually apply in the framework that I'm going to leave a link for at the end of this video. It is called the Revenue Leak Systems Audit. Now, in that particular framework, the first thing that you need to focus on in step number 1 is map the process. In mapping the process, what that will help you do is it will help you identify where the leaks are. You will know exactly where the leaks are. Step number 2, remove the founder from the floor. You have a clear handoff, have things that are going to be done without the founder being involved in the particular process or in everything. And then number 3 is then you automate repeatable tasks. Any task that can be repeated or can be done the same all the time, make sure that that task is automated. The fourth one is that now you build a delivery system that can take twice as much or 3 times as much as the volume that comes in. In doing so, you want to make sure that the system itself, it works at a pace that is faster than any growth that might come or any increase in volume that might happen in your particular business at any given time. What you can basically see from this is that scale isn't growth, but scale is equals to growth that does not break when volume increases. Now, if you're tired of just grinding and not seeing the growth, what we have done is that I've created a revenue leak and systems audit, which I will link in the description below. Book for yourself that particular revenue link and systems audit. And what this will help you find out is exactly where the leaks are. And then it will also show you how best to work in that particular business with as minimum effort as possible, help you automate your flows or what we're going to help you with as far as putting automations and AI into your business so that you can always twice or 3 times as much handle the work that is coming in more than the increase in volume that comes. So this is the only way that you can predict the growth of your business and be able to sustain that growth over a long period of time. If this video gave you any value at all, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and share with other entrepreneurs out there. Thank you so much for watching. This is Phiri Consulting, where early preparation equals excellent results. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.